Welcome all guys to my first new video on YouTube. I really wanted to add the YouTube channel to my content, as I feel like I don't have that much space on Twitter to talk about what I think about the market, as I'm capped to 280 characters. So I wanted to get back on YouTube, and for now that's gonna be twice a week with the request video and the general market video on Monday. And hopefully in the future we are going to expand to more videos and maybe even a podcast. Could be Dutch, could be English, whatever it is. It's gonna be fun. But I'm pretty excited to share my thoughts on video and hopefully, bringing you something. First, I'd like to discuss the huge drop down of yesterday, which is heavy. However, many altcoins are just stabilizing in BTC pair, retracing a little, which is okay. Especially Ether is doing really fine. But this drop down is pretty much the same as any range-bound movement Bart Simpson pattern we have seen before. It's not that bad actually. If you take the daily time frame, as long as Bitcoin is holding this level here, the 9450 level, everything is fine. The last higher low is made at 9.1k, candle closed at 9.2. As long as the price remains above this level, above this level, we are still in a market structure, which means higher lows, higher highs. If the price drops below this level, for instance, if we drop to like 8.750, that's still okay if you check the weekly time frame, but on a daily time frame I'd really want to see it bounce back up above 9.1. If we get a rejection here or even a rejection here, it should be that we're going down some further. But for now the daily time frame and market structure is still intact, which means that I'm not switching to a bearish bias at this point until we lose this level. I have to say that this doesn't look really nice, right? And there are probably some reasons for the massive dump, or at least the wick down. Binance had a maintenance yesterday. We all know about it. If you were following me, you saw my tweets towards CZ. I am the dude named One Guy. But we were offline for 6 hours, after which the site came online, and I know a ton of people will remove their stops or their orders, so probably the sell-off below this level caused a chain reaction with thin order books. I also heard Coinbase was offline, so another big exchange was not online at this point, which probably triggered a ton of stop losses, and then the massive wick down occurred. What I generally do by then is just checking what the higher time frames are doing, and we closed above the massive 9450 level, which is also an important weekly level. Let me see if I can find another chart where I point it out. Yeah, the weekly level is at 9450 here as well, around this level. Okay, going, that's a different sort of candles I see. Okay, 9450 level, 950 level. If we hold this, then it's fine. If we check the weekly time frame here, it's still not that bad actually. We've seen a 50% rally, which should be retracing for a little bit to find some more buyers and to accumulate a little bit. If we lose the 9500 level, I'm looking at 87.5 as the next big support level on a weekly time frame. On a daily, you will see that we have a slight downtrend at that point. However, if we keep on holding the 8750 level as support, we should be expecting continuation upwards. And if we compare this to the period earlier, before the halving in 2016, yes, I know fractals don't really work that well. However, we have seen a similar period of just calm pace sideways before the price moved upwards, and I still believe We are in such a period here in which the real FOMO starts in about 5-6 weeks from now, which should mean that the price of Bitcoin could be retracing, consolidating for a little bit more before we are continuing. So it's crucial that we hold this level on a daily time frame. However, if we lose it, then it's still not that bearish at all. If you check the weekly time frame, 8750 is the next big level. Losing that, and we are in big trouble. But overall, I still believe that we are in bullish momentum at this point, and pretty much range bound, which means that the market is heating up for the next big move upwards. But then, if we're checking some altcoins, some have been seeing a big drop down lately. Cardano has seen some drop downs as well. EOS is even more worse, as you can see. Like, alright, like nice rally upwards. This is a big reminder from Matic actually. We saw the same parabolic and just a crash down. But the requests were Cardano, Theta, Neblio, Nano and Quant Network. I'll just go through them to see what I'm seeing on the charts for them. Cardano made a nice breakout of a, let's see, I guess it's around 7 months. Yeah, it's a nice breakout of 170 days, almost half a year. A range bound movements in which we made nice higher lows constantly, and a breakout occurred. So we made a new higher high after we broke this massive range, and the resistance rallied a bit upwards with increased volume, but couldn't break above the levels here. It did try to break above 640, couldn't really hold it, as we tested it on a smaller time frames here after the breakout. Couldn't hold it, weak dead cat bounce and drop below. But first, if we check the daily time frame, we see that there's not many levels until the green zone. So for Cardano, I'd be waiting to see whether we retrace all the way towards here and see whether we find buyers there and support, or we break back above here and we hold a 640 level. I'm not a really big fan of trading mid-range. I'd really want to see a higher time frame support before I'm entering it. So I guess holding this area would be a great sign to buy. There was no real retest after the breakout at all either, so getting the test here would be a great sign, and then we should be continuing upwards from here. Yes, this looks bad, but if we go back to 2019, and this period was similarly to the movements we have seen back then, we see that there's a retrace here. We've seen retraces here before the big surge occurred. So all the people telling you that the market is bearish, I don't see the reason for that at this point. We are pretty much 99% down still, while the projects are still progressing. New upgrades are coming out, and the prices are doing pretty fine as well. I think that we are just getting some nice retest and some nice buy the dip opportunities for altcoins at this point. So for Cardano, if you check the daily time frame, I'd be watching this level here to see whether we hold. If we do, I'm expecting a bounce to 640 again, and preferably I want to see a higher high, which could be 860 or 1000 sats still. If we zoom in, as we just saw, pretty nice upwards trending trend. I'll just do it with the trend line. Pretty nice uptrend. There's several things you could say about this on the TA. Nice uptrend, which meant a nice breakout here. However, bearish divergence, as you can see, which caused the price to drop down. Breakdown below the trend line, retest, and then continuation south. What I feel like is that indeed we made a top here with the bearish divergence. This time it was a valid one. We've seen it here as well, but we couldn't really make a lower low. Price bounced on the old resistance, made a weak bounce, a dead cat bounce, rejected at the resistance here and moved down towards the next level. After which the price confirmed the rejection and the resistance of 640 with a retest here, and now we are moving south. We are hanging on like a small level at this point. has been tested many times. Could be that we are holding here, but as I said, I'm not a big fan of buying mid-range, which it looks like right now. If we hold here and make a higher low, okay, then I might be interested. But it looks like we are going to see another weak bounce and then continue towards the green zone. If we don't, and this is all a big trap, then I'd be interested in buying the retest here. But for now, I'd be patient on this one until we reach a certain support level. And then I'm interested in longing this one. So it's not that bad with Cardano actually. It's okay. It's okay. The USDT pair is pretty much showing the same. If we get any similarities going between the market nowadays and the market beginning 2019, which I think it is, we've seen that there were big sell-offs as well. Here's a big sell-off after the first rally. So would mean that we're going down a little bit more. There's a big sell-off here, after which still the big surge occurred. So yes, smaller time frames, it's bad, but we have seen a rally of about 100%, I assume, 140% almost. So a corrective move is pretty healthy before we can continue. What I see right now is that we rejected at this resistance here, which has been tested here and here. We rejected there, also rejected here, as I can see. And the same occurred as on the BTC pair. Couldn't hold the support level here, which I drew the wrong way, I see. This is the support, which rejected on the daily candle here, and we are moving south. Does that mean that we're in bear trouble or in bad trouble? No, not at all. We still have some levels to go for, which I assume are pretty interesting at this point. This is the main next level. First area is around this zone here. Let me place it right. Yes, this is the right level. As you can see, the main area I'd be watching is this support here around 5.2 cents. Holding there, and I assume we are continuing. Losing it, and I assume we are going to see this level around 4 cents 7. If we hold that support, it's still fine, and we are flipping the old resistance for support, which means that there's still continuation likely, and we are making higher lows as after this downtrend we had. Something same occurred here, in which price rallied upwards before it retraced and tested the old level for support back again. So a retracement towards the 5.2 cents is not bad. It looks really bad at this point, but it's actually giving a buy the dip opportunity in my belief, as I feel like the market is turning up for a bullish move. So if you'd want to long Cardano, I'd be watching this level and this level, and I'd be mainly also watching the BTC pair, whether we can make that flip of the range. Let's see how the rest is doing. Theta, still pretty much range bound, as you can see. Tried to get out of the range, couldn't get out of it, and instantly rejected. If we get towards 900 sats, that would be a wonderful long opportunity, as it's the range low. Doubt we'll get it. Reminds me a lot of this pattern here as well. Tried to get out of it, rejected, and flipped the earlier level for support, which is a little higher than now. It was 1420 satoshis. Looks like we're gonna see a similar retest here before we continue. Based on the daily, I want to see the 1285 level hold. As long as this level holds and we get a slight uptick here, I'd say we have confirmed this support, and then we are continuing upwards. Then we could see a new big move coming up, and then my main first target would be 2200 sats. However, if we lose the 1285 level, I'd be pointing towards 1150 as next support zone, and then I'm probably pretty calm on the movements, as altcoins, yeah, they are doing okay, but this retrace is just a little bit too heavy for me. So what I want to see is, what we've seen actually is that we rallied upwards, couldn't really break out, confirmed the rejection here or the resistance here, continued south, found support at the first level. There was no real level in between. Bounced upwards and rejected at this resistance here as well. Our bottom formation is usually you'd want to see a higher low in this area, which is less likely. Or you want to see a double bottom structure in which we take the liquidity, bounce back up, and probably make a bullish divergence on smaller time frames. So that's what I want to see. If we candle close here below the level, I'd be watching 1150 for the next support. If we hold here, that would be a really strong signal for continuation upwards and actually a long entry. Nano is probably the same. Yes, every altcoin is showing the same view actually. Nice deviation from the range in this area, which was a pretty nice long entry, and after that it surged for about 60%. Couldn't really break out of the range as the resistance is still being a resistance, as you can see. If we break above this resistance here, then the next real resistance is, this is a small one, but I'm mainly pointing this range to range play in which we are rallying towards 1900 sats. Still believe we're gonna get it. However, price couldn't break out of here and couldn't find support at 1020 sats. So the same actually as with Cardano and with Theta. There are many supports lying here, which I'm first targeting the 910 satoshis. Rejected here as well, as you can see. Retrace, rejection at the previous support level for confirmation, and continuation south, which means that I don't see any entry at this point until we confirm a support, which usually means that I'd want to see it bounce at 910 satoshis. If we do this, then I'd be interested here for a long entry, and then we can target the back old range resistance here. If we don't get here and bounce back up, I want to see the flip here, and then I'd want to take the long entry. So many altcoins are showing the same figures here and the same charts. If we crack this resistance and the range, then we get a really good move going on. Actually, also the same as we have seen here. Many altcoins are showing similarities. Stuck in a range, couldn't break out of it, retraced, made a higher low, and then it went on. So if we see it similar like that, something similar like that, and do this, either way, this entry or this flip is a great entry for a long. Then we've got Neblio as the almost final one, which is a nice organic price movement. I see. We've been tweeting this the past few days, or the past few weeks actually. Broke through this resistance, and usually what you see when it breaks through this and flips, it just starts to accelerate, and when it got thin order books, it just makes a moon candle, which is okay. But then you're going to question yourself, where are we going to find support? And the main levels I was watching was the 8000 satoshis and 7300 satoshis levels, which we have bounced on a few times. Right now it's stuck in a range for like a little bit, and we're probably going to retest the level back again. Couldn't close above the next resistance, as you can see, the 9000 satoshis level. Right now I don't see much in this one. If we hold the 7300 level, I might punt along a small one. However, it's being tested many times, so it's even more likely that another test will be a big bounce or just losing support, and then I'm going to target this level as the main target long zone. If we hold this level, the main structure is that we are again making a new higher low, which means that the next rally should target 13,600, 15,000 satoshis. The other play I might do, but I'm not really in favor of low liquidity coins, is probably buying this flip here, but I'm not sure. I'd rather want to see a confirmed support than that I'm buying the resistance breakout. If you're a resistance breakout trader, you'll be trapped here many times, so I'd rather just stick to the support play and see whether we hold 73 or maybe 58 as support. Not much to say about this one. Quant. I know the community, or at least a few of them, and it's a pretty active community as far as I know. But right now, we've seen that we've made a nice rally last year, and after that, not lower highs, lower lows. As you can see, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, low low. Trend is down, which is not a bad sign. We've made a nice bounce upwards from the support and some large volume, which could indicate that there was news on that day. I don't know, I don't follow it that close. But we rejected at this first resistance here, which is a bad sign. But if we reject at such a resistance, I'm going to wait. And the general play is whether I want to see support at 32,000 or 23,000. If we get to 23, that would be an insane long opportunity as we hit the all-time low level. If we hold here again and make a double bottom structure, or just confirmation of this support confluence with the bullish divergence here, I'd also be interested. So we would be watching the 32,500 level, or I'm going to watch until we break this level here, which is the 48,500. If we do, then I'm assuming that we've got enough strength to go towards 98,000. 89,000, my apologies. But still, it's trending down, so I don't see much at this point yet until we confirm support or the trend shifts. So a final few of my friends, the Bitcoin traders. Not much going on. I would be really surprised if we don't see a new Bot Simpson occur. If we hold this level here, we also have a hidden bullish divergence. I'm not giving that much attention to them. But we have seen these retracements pretty much during 2019 as well. As long as the structure is intact and we just keep on holding higher lows, higher ground, support, resistance flips, we're just continuing. And I still assume we're going to have a FOMO rally into the halving. Alright, this video became a little bit longer than I'd expected, but that's fine. Thank you very much for watching, and thumbs up if you like it. If you have any ideas or requests or whatever, drop it down in the replies on Twitter or YouTube, and see you next time on a Monday.